Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a component you've seen a million times, but probably never really noticed. It's tiny, it's in pretty much every device you own, and you know what? It might just be the only thing standing between you and a nasty fire or a serious electric shock.
So if you've ever cracked open a power supply, you've seen these little boxy things. They look just like any other capacitor, right? Well, they're not. They are hiding a really important secret. A secret that is quietly keeping you safe every single time you plug something into a wall outlet. All right, let's dive into the world of what are called Class X and Class Y safety capacitors. These are, without a doubt, the unsung heroes protecting all of your gear. And by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why they're so critical.
Now, here's the first really weird thing about them. Unlike a normal capacitor that's defined by, its materials or construction, the names Class X and Class Y don't tell you what they are. Nope, they tell you what they do, and more importantly, where they're supposed to go in a circuit. Their whole identity is their job description. So what's the deal with these names, X and Y? It's not just some random alphabet soup, I promise. The letters themselves are actually a brilliant little code that tells you exactly how they connect to the AC power lines.
It's actually super simple when you see it. X is for across, as in it gets placed directly across the two main power lines, the live and the neutral. And Y? Well, Y literally looks like a Y. It represents the shape of the connection, with capacitors branching off from each power line down to a single point, the chassis ground.
And this specific placement? It's all about tackling two different kinds of electrical garbage, or noise. Think of differential mode noise as a kind of argument happening between the two power lines. So we stick an X capacitor right there between them to calm things down. Common mode noise, on the other hand, is like an outside force, like a tremor that hits both power lines at the same time. The Y capacitors act like shock absorbers, safely shunting all that unwanted energy away to the ground before it can cause trouble. Okay, so that's what they do all day long. But filtering noise isn't what earns them the name safety capacitor. Not at all. Now we get to the main event. Their real genius, the secret sauce, isn't in how they work normally. I mean, that's just basic capacitor stuff. The secret is actually way cooler and a little morbid. The secret is how they're designed to die. That's right. Every single one of these safety capacitors is meticulously engineered to fail in a very specific, predictable way. And how they fail is what protects you from two totally different and very scary disasters. And this is it, the core secret right here. An X capacitor, the one sitting across the mains, is designed to fail as a dead short. Now that sounds bad, but it's actually a heroic sacrifice. It draws a massive amount of current which deliberately blows the main fuse or trips the circuit breaker, cutting the power and preventing a fire. But the Y capacitor, it does the exact opposite. It's designed to fail open. Why? Because if it failed shorted to ground, the metal case of your appliance could become live with deadly voltage. By failing open, it breaks the connection, maintaining electrical isolation and preventing electric shock. It's just brilliant. So, knowing the stakes are literally life and death, how do engineers pick the right one? Well, you can't just grab any old safety cap. You have to understand the environment where the device is actually going to be used. And that's where something called the overvoltage category comes in. It's all laid out in an international standard, and it's basically just a rating for how harsh the voltage spikes, or transients, are in a particular location. A higher number means a tougher, more dangerous electrical environment. And this chart really connects the dots. Take a look. See that X2? It can handle spikes up to 2,500 volts. That makes it perfect for your laptop charger or your TV, stuff you use at home. But if you're building something for a factory floor, that's a much rougher environment. So you need a tougher X1 cap, which can take up to 4,000 volts. Same logic applies to the Y caps, where a Y1 offers much better insulation for supercritical things, like medical equipment. Okay, practical application time. Let's say you're fixing a power supply and you need to replace one of these. This is not the time to just rummage through your parts bin. There are some hard and fast, non-negotiable rules you have to follow to keep things safe. And here's the number one rule. It's pretty simple. You can always go up in safety, but you can never go down. So an X1 is tougher than an X2. So sure, you can use an X1 to replace an X2, no problem. But you absolutely cannot replace a Y capacitor with an X capacitor. That's a huge no-no because you'd be creating a shock hazard. And the biggest rule of all, never, ever, under any circumstances, swap in a regular, non-safety capacitor. It's just not designed to fail safely, and you're basically creating a tiny firebomb. Don't do it.
You know, the expert Zachariah Peterson from Altium Resources really put it best. He said, if you don't know how or why to do this, then don't do it. And that's just perfect advice. When you're talking about the one component that's the last line of defense, guesswork is just not an option. So there you have it. A deep dive into a component we see all the time, but maybe never really appreciated. Its true genius isn't in what it does, but in how it's designed to fail to protect us. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other invisible bits of engineering, what other little heroes like this are working right now, quietly keeping us all safe?